Good morning. I want to talk to you about a subject that we don't very often talk about. However, it is a safety issue that is within the context of our industry, particularly. I want to talk to you today about suicide prevention in construction. And the reason I want to talk to you about that issue specifically is that according to the CDC, construction has the highest suicide rate across all industries. The suicide rate in construction is about 4 times greater than the national average and 5 times greater than that of all other construction fatalities combined. So that makes it very, very important. In fact, more lives are lost per day from suicide than from all of OSHA's fatal four hazards combined. And we've talked about the fatal four. So this is a big issue. So the question that we have to ask is, why does construction have the highest suicide rate? Well, let's have a look at the workforce, and this comes down to demographics. So let's talk about this. According to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, the rate of suicide is highest in middle-aged white men, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that 97% of the U.S. construction workforce is male and 56.9% is Caucasian. Also, more than 63% of construction workers are between the ages of 35 and 64. So that's just addressing that part of the demographic. Doesn't cover the whole picture, but it does give you some idea of where they're drawing their numbers and how they're arriving at their conclusions. Now, let's talk about the nature of the construction culture, the nature of the work and the work culture. Construction workers tend to be very stoic. That is, they very often don't give a lot away. Very old school. It's a very, very tough guy culture. It is a culture that thrives on, in many respects, fearlessness and thrill seeking. A lot of guys get into iron work because it can be pretty exciting work in a lot of ways. Sometimes we promote in construction to supervision without giving the person that we're promoting into supervision a lot of training. And that's part of the issue that puts pressure on that individual. If you're on the road, there's the issue of family separation and isolation with travel, sleep disruption, sleep deprivation due to having to work different sets of hours various times, seasonal layoffs, end of project furloughs. Now, we don't have that problem at D&E so much, but other companies in construction do that quite commonly. It's a culture which historically has been pretty tolerant of alcohol and substance abuse. It's something that we all grew up with, who grew up in the construction trade and have been in it for a long time. We're aware that it occurs. We're aware that it goes on, and it's been a pretty tolerant atmosphere about that for a very long time. Chronic pain. If you're in construction, and this is something that I face personally every day, there is the whole issue of chronic pain. It's the industry with the highest use of prescription opioids, according to this particular study that I'm looking at. There's a lot of performance pressure in construction, schedules, budgets, quality. The other thing that we have to face, frankly, is that in construction, we have access to lethal means. We have access to a lot of things that will kill you, and with which we, under the right circumstances, can kill ourselves. So this is an issue that we need to face. Now, it's an issue that we need to discuss amongst ourselves. if you are starting to experience these kinds of thoughts, these kinds of issues, contact someone that you know, someone that you can trust, someone that you can be confident in, that you can talk to about these issues, someone who's not going to be ridiculing you or making fun of you because you're having these kinds of struggles. I personally have had a lot of experience with people dealing with suicide issues. I've had a lot of opportunities over the course of a number of years to deal with these circumstances at close range and at a distance. When I was in Australia, I was part of a group that was addressing the whole issue of suicide in Australian society. So what I'm saying to you is this: find somebody you can talk to, find somebody that you can trust, find somebody that you can converse with about this, get some help. We have the EAP, the Employee Assistance Program. So there are means whereby you can get help, and I want you to consider this very carefully. And today, especially during this time when a lot of people are depressed, a lot of people are struggling, a lot of people are losing their jobs and that kind of thing, we want to be aware of this, be aware of the person around you who may be talking this way, or somebody that you know, or if you yourself feel this way, then by all means, contact somebody that you can trust, get in touch with a friend or someone else that you can be confident will help you, and let's get this sorted out so that we don't continue to lose good people under these circumstances.